develop the activity of the material themselves. But I think you can probably only do that so many times in the course before students catch on. Which other ones do I want to focus on? Reciprocal teaching is a great one, where students teach each other in some way. So either they prepare a lesson, and I think they did this at the awards. Yeah. I saw that, yeah. So that was a fantastic example. And that's the sort of thing that students can do through the MOOC as well. They can prepare a lesson, they can share with everyone else, they can get feedback. And actually, through that model, a lot of the course could be done. You could design a lot of the course that way. Okay, so now I want to show you some examples of this. Now, I have screenshots, but I'll try and use the internet as well. So this is an example of Create and Share. And this is a graphic design course. And this course has a rapport building activity in the beginning where you introduce yourself. And you introduce yourself by drawing or designing an image of where you're located in the world and something interesting about the place, something interesting about yourself. So what's really cool about this activity is that first of all, it's the first thing the students do in the course. So they're actually designing something. Now, because they're designing something and they haven't done the course yet, this is a good example of their design skills before they do the course. So you can actually compare this at the end of the course and see how they've improved. At the same time, people like sharing something about where they're from, so it's quite a nice experience. So I'm just going to try and, let's see if I can open this link. Cool.
You're going online?
Yeah. Actually, I opened it earlier just in case the internet didn't work. That was, but I think the internet's fine. Okay, so this is that, ooh, where'd it go? Oh. Okay, so this is that example. So the students then share images they've developed of where they're located and something a bit about themselves. So this one, yeah, home is Northern Ireland. And I think what's really nice is that people are really proud of where they're from. Like no matter, every country in the world, there's something to be proud of. And it's kind of your heritage, your culture. So it's something that really is nice to share. And particularly in a MOOC, you never know where other people are from. So this kind of builds up the community and helps them understand who else is there with them. So there's lots of them. So Thailand, Egypt, Lebanon, Blue Mountains, where everything exists. Did they even say where they are? No, they didn't.
So I guess as an educator, you have also got to appreciate this, right? If you do not come from a background where you appreciate this, you're kind of lost in the MOOC, teaching and learning.
Yeah. You can, if you design the MOOC the way sort of a traditional e-learning course is designed, where we use it as a supplementary material.
Right.
Now that's fine when you're doing a face-to-face class and you're there all the time. You're using the material, you just need students to access the material anytime. That works then. But once you move into the MOOC concept, you can't rely on the students having any in-person or face-to-face. And you really have to make sure as much of the interaction as possible can happen in the course, and that the course enables them to do things offline. So yeah, you do have to adopt the sort of concept, because if you don't create that activity at the top, there'll be no comments here. So it really is, it's really driven by the activities. Yeah. I think there's hundreds or thousands of these here. So which one's this? That's very nice.
Where is this?
That's in India, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surat, India.
Yeah. And it's in I like that one. Where was it? England. Yeah, so very quickly the students are doing something, they're learning about each other, and they can spend quite a bit of time. Like they'll be browsing this instead of browsing Facebook, which is pretty cool for them. And they're meeting other people. Okay. The next one I wanted to show. Okay. Crowd curation. So this is where the students do something, or they may design something or talk about something they've done, and they get feedback from the community to improve what they've done. So it's like the crowd is kind of helping them improve themselves through feedback. So this is, let me see, I think I can show this one as well. Okay, yeah, so this is Map and Minimize Your Morning. So this is a course on Lean Six Sigma. So it's a basic Lean Six Sigma course. It's run by a college in Australia, and it's part of a graduate certificate. But they put the first course online as a MOOC, so anyone around the world can join. Now, what this activity does is it's to help students understand and learn how to improve processes and describe a process, articulate what's happening, look at ways of improving it. Now, there are many ways to do that, and the course has many activities. But the way this one works is by sort of making it easy for the students to get into it by using something that relates to the student's life. So the student doesn't have to have any background knowledge to actually do this activity. So what they do is they map out their process for them waking up in the morning. So everything they do when they get up in the morning, they have to map it out. And then they have to look at where they're spending their time and how they can actually reduce the amount of time they spend. So, and then they produce a new map of that. So students will go through it. And you can see they actually put a lot of effort into what they do in the morning. We joke at our team that it can be a bit depressing reading this one sometimes because some people wake up like really early and they exercise a lot, and it really puts us to shame. So, but you can see, so like wake up, get out of bed, brush teeth. They go into a lot of detail, some of it unnecessary maybe, but it's really cool because what it shows is that students are really relate to it. Like if it was an abstract process in an industry they had no experience with, it would be very hard for them to actually write confidently on it. But through this, they know that they're mapping out their morning. No one can tell them they're wrong. They can maybe give them ways to improve, but they can't tell them, your morning does not run like that. No one else knows but this person. So then they have some recommendations and improve. Being the father of 7, I can only state that time will fix it. So this person actually says they usually miss the train by waking up late. So. And they're talking about ways to improve, and then it says, I don't want Six Sigma to turn me into a total freak. They'll be too efficient. Oh, what's wrong with that? This person's actually designed a graphic. So I can reduce my breakfast time to 15 minutes. So looking at this, that wouldn't be the thing I'd reduce, but everyone's a bit different. They wake up at 4 a.m. and then, wow, they go to work at 7.
They have meditation?
Yeah, meditation as well. I'd probably reduce these two and then have more breakfast. But you can see it generates a lot of discussion. They get ideas on how to improve. And they're quite nice activities. So really the only limit on the activity is really the creativity of the teacher. That's really the main driver in this. To look at the sort of the learning outcome you want to achieve and then come up with activities like these ones or better ones to really help the students achieve those. And that's really where most of the time and effort goes into. So when our instructional design team is either building courses for other people or helping people build courses, the biggest thing they're always trying to do is come up with better ideas. So that's really the challenge. Yep. Yeah, so managing your time in the MOOC. And this is quite a challenge. There are a few ways that I've seen people do it. Usually what happens is initially, when you first run the MOOC, you're blown away by the number of